Hey guys, Andy from Rubbed and Sauced. Today we are going to look at a historic and very highly regarded barbecue sauce that originates out of Austin, Texas. We're going to find out if it deserves a spot on the competition circuit at your backyard barbecue, or should we just throw it in the trash. Let's meet today's contender.
Get it rubbed. Hey. Get it sauced. Yeah, we're bringing the heat. Time to find out what it costs. Rubbed and sauced.
So yes, we're going to look at Stubb's original barbecue sauce today. That right there on the front, my friends, that is C.B. Stubblefield, the originator of the sauce from back in like 1968. All right, the sauce originates out of Austin, Texas. And recently there was an article published by Southern Living that ranked this as the #1 store-bought barbecue sauce because most people can get it around the country as well. We're going to find out if that's true today or not. All right. So as we check this out, I haven't even opened it up. Brand new bottle. Always like to check out the ingredients. What I do like with this one, there is no high fructose corn syrup. It does have some of that xanthium gum, which you'll find some barbecue sauces. You find that as an ingredient. That's really just more like a thickening agent, so it's not really just super wet when it pours on top of that meat. So it is common in some other barbecue sauces as well. This sauce, and probably your local grocery store, is going to run you between $4.50 and $6 a bottle. This is an 18-ounce bottle of that sauce. So yeah, let's go ahead and crack it open. This will probably give us a pop with that glass bottle, that metal top. Oh yeah, get a little pop sound to it. All right, nothing to peel off because it was already sealed with that top there. Give a little smell test as well. Now that I got it unsealed, I'm gonna shake that bottle up a little bit more. And let's grab ourselves some spoons and go in for our first taste test. So let's see if we can take a little bit of that sauce, get it on that spoon. There we go, my friends. You can see it dripping off of there. So we can see the color of that. It's more, not really kind of a darker red, more of a lighter look to it. I can get a smell of vinegar and see some pepper flakes in here as well. But you know what? Let's give it a taste test. Like going for the taste test, you can definitely tell also has a very thin texture. But here we go. All right, so right out the gate, I get kind of that tang from that vinegar on the front end. And I can feel and taste that black pepper hitting as well in those ingredients. That black pepper, probably a little bit of cayenne in there as well, some other spices, gives it a slight bit of heat. But if you don't want a hot barbecue sauce, no need to worry. This is not gonna be that hot sauce for you as well. All right, so that's how that first taste test goes. But as you guys know, there's a second test because ultimately you want to know, how does this taste on meat? All right, so before I go into tasting the meat, let me remind you of our scoring categories. Here on Rubbed and Sauce, we're going to judge every barbecue spice rub and every sauce with this scale. 1 being the lowest, that gas station grill, where I just would not buy it again. Probably a weak flavor, artificial taste, poor balance, and just very forgettable. Then we'll go to 2 with that backyard barbecue. What's decent is an everyday product, casual for grilling, but nothing memorable. 3 is that tailgate approved. It is going to be a crowd pleasing sauce, just a fun taste, great flavor for parties, game days, and large gatherings. 4 is going smokehouse worthy. This is a legit barbecue quality, has a strong flavor balance, layered seasoning, as well as just a serious smoker performance. And last but not least is level 5. It is competition ready. It is an elite tier product, worthy of barbecue competitions and serious pitmasters. Okay, so now I've got some smoked chicken that I pulled off. Didn't use a lot of seasoning on that chicken. I'm gonna just grab a little bit of that chicken, put it on the plate, and instead of dipping in the sauce, I purposely want to pour just a little bit on that chicken just to see how it sits on that meat because of the consistency and the thickness of that sauce. So it is running off just a little bit because it's not a thicker sauce, but it's also not super, super wet, if that makes sense. All right, so let's try that on a piece of that chicken. Here we go. Well, a plus side is that sauce, because it's not a smoky, like a true smokiness to the sauce itself, it then doesn't take away from the smokiness of the chicken that was already there. So we're not getting kind of that double smoke feeling, which I do appreciate. The sauce itself, it's still like getting that vinegar taste on top of that smoked chicken. Probably a good sauce maybe on like a rib. So if you're maybe brushing it on and some ribs towards the end of that rib process on your smoker. Not sure how much I would enjoy this like on a piece of brisket. To be honest, brisket, if it's done right, you don't need the sauce. But overall, you know, to be honest, take it or leave it as a sauce. I know it's been around a while. I know it's kind of the staple. I know it's got a name for itself, but ultimately it needs a score. So here we go, my friends. For me, I'm gonna give it a 2. All right, this is great for just having it home for that backyard barbecue. All right, you're not going to go wrong with it because it's not a sauce you probably use for like eating, like I was just doing, but it actually could be used really well for other consistency pieces. Like I mentioned, brushing on ribs as part of that process because you have other seasonings and other things going on there as well. So this sauce could definitely serve a great purpose in that backyard barbecue, but not one that I'm going to take to the tailgate. Definitely not one I'm going to use at a competition and so forth, all right? But it's also not going to go in the trash, all right? It's got a good taste to it, all right? So, and it's a sauce that people probably really enjoy because it doesn't have a lot of heat behind it. It just kind of really is kind of that consistent taste of a barbecue sauce that most, if you have a big party going on, people, any barbecue in the backyard for folks, they're not going to knock it at all, all right? So we're going to throw it into that backyard barbecue category, all right? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick review. Tell me what you think about Stubb's barbecue sauce. Drop some information for yourself in the comments below. Maybe you love it, maybe you hate it, maybe you just never tried it, but let me know, all right? We'll see you guys next time on Rubbed and Sauced.